Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Hume Zone segment tonight. Two hot topics. The Washington Post running a very silly article on Marco Rubio. And former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg says he may run against both Republicans and Democrats for president. Joining us now from Boca Grande, Florida, Britt Hume. First of all, let's talk about Bloomberg. He's got the money. Says he put up $1 billion of his own cash to run. Anything else going for him?
Well, not a lot, Bill, because I don't think he has a natural constituency or a natural base. He's too liberal for conservatives, I think, and too conservative for liberals. He's not really a conservative, but he is a capitalist. And as you see on the Democratic side, that's not the way to go today. You got Bernie Sanders, who's an out-and-out socialist, in the lead in the first, or at least or close to in the lead in the first two states. So, you know, that shows you where he is on the left. But on the right, people are going to look at him and they say, well, wait a minute, this guy's a big gun control guy. He's the one that, he wanted to decide what kind of beverages you could drink in New York State. He's pro-abortion rights and so on. So I think he would be appealing to a fairly narrow constituency. And it's too late for him to get in, to either party's nominating contest. So he'd have to spend a lot of money to get on the ballots as an independent. Now, Bill, remember, he sort of set conditions here. He's worried about Bernie Sanders being nominated. He's worried about Trump. And, in this crazy year, those things could happen, and he might get in anyway.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he did a good job, I thought, in New York. I mean, I don't care whether he wants me to drink the big gulp or not. It really doesn't affect me. I'm going to drink what I want to drink, okay? Bloomberg telling me that I shouldn't drink it. I mean, what does that mean? But he controlled the city, and as soon as he walked out the door and de Blasio came in, New York fell apart. I mean, it was like 2 days later. So he's got that going for him. But I do agree, I don't know where he takes from. Conservatives not going to vote for him. Just on guns alone, they're not going to vote for him. And liberals aren't going to vote for him because he's this capitalist billionaire who has a big home all over the place and is a consumer. So where is he going? So I think he's basically, but I think he could run just because he would like to shake it up.
Well, I think he can. What seems, though, to be selling this year is somebody with a lot of fire and energy, or with a platform that is such strong medicine.
Right.
No, he's not. He's a relatively soft-spoken, mild guy, very bright and able guy. I mean, you're right about the job he did in New York. He was very effective as mayor there, and did well. He wouldn't have been reelected. But taking that out across the country, usually the profile of a mayor in New York is not the profile of somebody who's an ideal presidential candidate. And I think he'd just have too narrow a slice to appeal to.
Okay. Let's go to the Washington Post, which ran a very silly article, as I said, about Marco Rubio. I have to almost take myself out of this discussion because the Washington Post allowed its editorial page to attack me very unfairly, wouldn't print my reply. So I don't have a lot of good feeling toward the Washington Post at this point. But the article they wrote on Rubio over the weekend, or recently, said that when he was 18, he was hanging around a park after the park closed. That was the article. That was it. And I'm going, are you kidding me?
He was drinking beer and hanging around the park after closing hours, and he got charged with a minor offense, and the charge was subsequently dismissed. Now, it was framed, to be fair,
Is that a big article, though?
Well, by itself, no. But and look, I think the article was much ado about not much. But they did frame it as a kind of a turning point for him when he had been kind of drifting and moving in no clear direction. And that following this, which was one in a series of episodes, he kind of turned things around and got his life moving in the right direction. So looked at it in that way, you could say there was nothing wrong with it.
Okay, but this is the same paper that
it's a window dressing to sneak in the episode, right?
Right. And that's what gets out on the net. And then on May 20th of last year, on May 20th of 2015, they did Rubio's finances, and then they did an article on Romney was a bully in prep school, and you know what I mean? And meantime, we got 150 FBI agents after Hillary Clinton. I mean, come on.
Yeah, what I would say about those kinds of stories, Bill, there's nothing wrong with journalists doing a real frisk of a presidential candidate's background and looking into things. The problem is if you don't turn up very much, which is the case here, it seems to me you either do a very short story or no story at all. This one looks like this is a story that could well have been spiked, and I don't think anybody would mind.
Right.
And I doubt the world with little note no longer remember it anyway.
And it just makes the paper look bad, along with the Ted Cruz daughters controversy. They had to pull that cartoon. So,
well, I also did the story about the was it the Post of the I guess was it, who did the parking tickets or the speeding ticket story? Was that the Post of the Times? I don't remember. But
I don't know.
But it turned out the speeding tickets were mostly, there were like 17 of them, all but 3 were his wife's. So
right.
You need to know this about a presidential candidate. His wife has a bunch of speeding tickets. I don't think so.
All right, Brett, thank you.